right, today on Horner's Sunday Kitchen, we are making Grandma June's famous banana chocolate chip cookies. All right, if anybody has ever had banana chocolate chip cookies, whew, you remember them. They are so good. And it gives you a chance to get rid of these bananas that you bought for your grandkids and they never came over. They came over, but they ate chocolate and other stuff instead of the bananas. So I'm gonna have to make some banana chip cookies and probably some banana bread tomorrow. But that's not today's agenda. Today's agenda is making some munchy food, all right? Because it's the start of weekend. It's a weekend, right? So we need banana chip cookies, definitely. It's munchy food, and not that kind of munchy food. No, I know what you're thinking. I guess it could be that kind of munchy food, but it's just a good cookie, and you get to use your bananas, your chocolate chips combined, and who doesn't like bananas with chocolate? You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So all you're gonna need is some sugar or some flour, some brown sugar. You're gonna need baking soda and baking powder. You're gonna need some cinnamon, some nutmeg, 2 eggs, some bananas, butter, and of course, the good little morsels, all right? And I don't care what flavor you have. You can even use butterscotch. I should have gotten butterscotch. I love butterscotch, but we're gonna show you how to make this today. So you don't wanna miss this episode. This is a great dessert. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a cup of mashed bananas, right? A cup of bananas, which is usually about two medium-sized bananas is a cup. Okay, so I'm gonna take it, and of course they're ripe. They're ripe ones. So I already put one in there, and then you're gonna combine the brown sugar. Okay, you're gonna take the brown sugar, which is about 3/4 of a cup, and make sure that when you're baking really requires some exact measurements usually, okay? And I usually, when I'm not baking, I usually just, you know me, you see me. I usually just throw this in there and throw this in there, but not with baking. Baking is different. Baking is different. So if the recipe calls for 3/4 of packed brown sugar, that means you pack it in there, okay? And then you put it in there, in the bowl. All right, then you gotta do the the 2 eggs, right? Gotta put the 2 eggs in there and throw them away, all right? And of course, it gets on your hands. So, all right, and then got the 2 eggs in there, and it says put the vanilla in there, all right? And what we need for vanilla is 1 teaspoon, which I have right here. So, and never pour over the bowl, because if you over pour, now you've screwed up, right? So don't pour it over. See that right there? I did it. Just as an example for you. I only did that for you. So, all right, and then what we're gonna do is we are going to take that and we are going to beat it until it's fluffy with the mixer, okay? So, and this is not the best mixer in the world. It's a very cheap one. But I don't even know what brand it is. Oh, it's a KitchenAid. It's certainly not the best blender I've ever had, or the best hand mixer, but it does the trick. It does the trick. Now I'm gonna add the butter also. Once the bananas are mixed up, I'm gonna add this softened butter. And what you need is 3/4 of a cup of softened butter. I'm gonna mix all the wet ingredients up. And then we're gonna throw all the dry ingredients together and throw them in there. And one step that everybody always forgets, preheat the oven to 350. I did that before we started. So it's already done. Now let's heat until it's fluffy. Let's see it starts fluffing up. Just beat it until it's fluffy for a minute, and then you can stop, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the flour, all right? The flour, we're gonna add 2.5 cups of flour. Okay? I gotta follow this, it's just like Grandma June used to back in the day. Everybody loved these cookies. She would make them for family gatherings, and and they were, oh my gosh, they were definitely a favorite for munchy food, or I keep on saying munchy food, and everybody's gonna think I'm just a, don't think that. Evil thoughts, evil thoughts. All right, so there you go. We need half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So half a teaspoon, okay? Make sure that's a half, yep, that's a half. Half a teaspoon of that. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon, here we go. There we go, half a teaspoon of that. And then 2 teaspoons, which I need to dry this out because it has vanilla in it. We're gonna put 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of baking powder in there. So, and baking powder always has this lip on it right here. And that lip serves a purpose, all right? So you can, because you don't want like this. That's not a teaspoon, right? So shake it and then it levels off. See, you pull it out and it levels out. So there you go. And that way you don't get more than you bargained for. You don't want to do that. So it could really throw things off. All right, there we go. 2 teaspoons. All right, so, and then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So, and I actually have a 1/4 teaspoon. I found it buried in the back. And a 1/4 teaspoon is not very much. And if you notice the baking, your baking soda has a lip too. Use it to level it off. Just a little tip for you, all right? If you didn't know that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix that up. Do not put the chips in there yet. Don't put the chocolate chips in there yet. All right, because then the mixer is gonna beat those up too, and you're gonna have little chunks of, it's gonna throw off the whole color and the whole aesthetics of the cookie. So don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so here we go. Here we go, we're gonna mix this up, and it's gonna be a little thicker now because the flour's in there, right? So you're gonna beat it up slowly and incorporate it all together. You don't want to overmix cookies either. Don't want to overmix cookies. And I know I'm off to the side. I'm sorry. I'm a one-man band here, trying to play the drums and the guitar at the same time. Can't do it. All right. Can't do it. And spin that. Go. Spin that. Get a spatula out that you love. All right. And get all that flour, because you don't want flour on top of the cookies, right? Ooh, that's looking good. And don't eat cookie batter. Whatever. You know, they say don't eat cookie batter. I grew up on cookie batter, all right, and cake batter with eggs or eggs in it. And now they're saying don't eat it, and I've turned out perfectly normal. So I don't know what they're talking about. They don't know. You know, they're just afraid of salmonella. I've had that. I've been there, done that. I got the t-shirt. Don't ever want it again, but cookie batter is so good. It really is. Let me get it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the same spatula here and we're gonna fold in 2 cups of chocolate chips. All right, 2 cups. So there's 1 cup of chocolate chips. And 2 cups. Then you got to have a couple to make sure. Yep. Oh, the right one. All right. Yeah, those are the right ones. You want to check. You don't want to serve substandard stuff. So nobody trusts the skin you cook, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Sorry about that, Skylar. I know I'm not supposed to bang anything because my microphone is horrible. Right, so anyway, so you're gonna fold these in. You're just gonna fold them in gently so they're evenly dispersed. And when I say fold it in, I mean fold it in. So, and the oven's already preheated. You see my sheet pan over there with my silicone mat on it? If you do not have a silicone mat, I suggest you get one. They are awesome for cookies. And Parmesan crisps, they crisp up the bottom of the cookie really good while the center is just perfectly gooey. And it's a game changer, it really is. My next video, my next dessert was shown to me by a cadet at school today. And it's a game changer. I'm making that next. So stay tuned for next week too. It's gonna be, we're doing a dessert. We're going on a dessert frenzy right now. So it's gonna be awesome. All right, what we're gonna do, let me get my little handy dandy little scooper out here. And I'm going to put them on the tray. I'm only gonna level them off so they're all even too. All right, you don't want some bigger than others because then they cook unevenly. So, and I'm only gonna put eight to a tray till I know how much they spread out. You gotta know how much they spread out before you start throwing 10 or 12 on there. All right, so, and I did cut it a little close on the end here. So if they do run together, I guess I'll eat those. So there you go. Now I'm gonna toss them in the oven for approximately 12 to 14 minutes. And then we'll be back. It's as easy as that. That's easy. All right, we just took the cookies out of the oven. They're really hot. So, and the sheet pan's hot. But I want to tell you this. Take them off the sheet pan about a minute after you take them out of the oven, okay? And the reason being is because they keep cooking. They keep cooking on the sheet pan because the sheet pan's hot, right? And I know you can see my lights up here. Okay, I don't like that, I'm sorry, but take them off there and put them on a rack or a towel or something, okay? And these silicone mats, they really make them brown up on the bottom real well, right? So if you look at it, this is a banana chocolate chip cookie. I don't like nuts in my cookies or my banana bread or anything like that. I'm really not a big fan of nuts. So, but look at it. So it's kind of like bland on top, kind of white on top, but look at that. That is a perfect cookie right there. That's perfect right there. So I'm gonna break this open in a minute. If you don't have a silicone mat, okay, go to any cooking store, go on to Amazon. I ordered off Amazon, and those things are great. If you don't have one though, use parchment paper. Don't mess your sheet pans up and cause yourself more work in the dishes. So don't do that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna task my son here to put the recipe right here. Okay, start with 3/4 cup of butter, softened. Okay, and then 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. We're gonna pack it into the container. Okay, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 cup of mashed bananas, which is about 2 medium-sized bananas. Okay, and then blend those up and make them fluffy, right? And then you can add the dry ingredients, which is a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And you're probably right about here, down here now, okay? So, and I'm gonna see how good my son is at editing this stuff. And then 2 cups of chocolate chips. I think he's right about here now, right down here, okay? And then you can add those, but fold the chocolate chips in, all right? Once you put in the dried ingredients and mix all the dried ingredients together, then fold the chocolate chips in. Do not blend the chocolate chips in because it's gonna just throw chips, just pieces of chips over it. It's gonna mess up the whole thing. And so don't do that. But these cookies here they're a little they're fluffier than normal cookies because they do have baking soda and baking powder in them, and they have bananas, so it's like a banana flavor. But look at this as you open it. Watch this. Look at that, and you can see the steam rising, right? So it's kind of a bready cookie. But it's really good. All right. Oh goodness. I'm gonna pick one up with my wife. I got her working. She's out cleaning the pool. So don't worry, I won't get in trouble for that because she doesn't watch my videos anyways. And neither does my mom. So thank you again for the carpal tunnel. Not a big deal. just a surgery or two. Not a big deal. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. But thank you, Grandma June, for this awesome recipe. This is awesome. And she didn't give me carpal tunnel or anything. And she, I guarantee, if she was still alive, God bless her soul, she'd watch my videos. I guarantee it. So, all right, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, okay? And hit that notification button so you're notified when my son, when he posts the videos every Sunday, okay? Hopefully he got that. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. So hopefully, all right, have a great time. Try this recipe. This is really great. And who doesn't have extra bananas, 2 extra bananas laying around? Everybody does. Nobody ever eats the last couple bananas, at least at my house. So, all right, I miss you already. Be safe out there.